Timing, switching over from our network marketing insider home hangout over here to our real estate investing hangout by sellahousearizona.com. Welcome everybody to what is this? This is a Wisdom Wednesday. Perfect day for this. A Wisdom Wednesday here on November 25th, the day before Turkey Day. You know what? I think John's got the perfect lead into this about waiting. We're all waiting for some turkey tomorrow. We're going to get into some deeper thoughts of waiting today. So, John, why don't you take it? I got to run for just 1 second.
You go ahead. Everyone that's on this hangout, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to put something up on the screen. There I am. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. There I am. John, the Real Wealth Advocate, PropertyNoodlers@gmail.com. Cool. I wanted to make sure I had my little bar down there at the bottom. This way, if you want to contact me or send me an email, there's my email address. And Paul kind of mentioned that we had just come off another hangout this morning for our network marketing business. And of course, this is our real estate business hangout, Sell a House, Arizona, the Property Noodlers. Those of you on our team, noodling properties, you know what we're all about. Those of you just joining us, welcome. And today's topic is a continuation of a conversation we were having this morning because I had gotten up and looking at the fact that tomorrow is Turkey Day. I know that for the rest of this year, things pretty much slow down in the business world. Real estate transactions kind of slow down. Dealing with sellers, even sellers kind of want to wait till after the holidays before they sell. Or if we're buying a house right now, typically if there's someone living in the house, we're giving them till after the holidays to move out. So things kind of slow down. The holidays, the holiday cheer, the holiday depression, all these different things that go on with this time of year. It's just kind of a time of year that slows down for business. And this morning I had gotten up and I was browsing Facebook, and I came across an article which really kind of sparked off my thinking for the day. And this kind of played right into what Paul had been looking at this morning. And that's this whole concept of one day I will be happy. Someday I'll do that. One day I'm going to retire. And I'm not happy today because I don't like A, B, and C. But A, B, and C will go away, and one day I'll be happy. And what got me thinking about that is the broad sense of the conversation Paul and I had. But what actually really brought home this point to me this morning is because I'm going to raise my hand and say I'm kind of guilty of what I'm going to describe here. Is I was reading an article about parenting, and I'm a single parent. I have a 4-year-old daughter, 6-year-old son, and I kind of remember these exact feelings, these exact thoughts. And what this article had talked about is parents. Okay, we're new parents. Here I am with my 1-month-old baby, and all this baby does is scream and cry, and it's making me frustrated, and it's stressing me out, and it's making me unhappy. And you know what? Oh, he's 1 month old. I can't wait till he's 2 years old, and then he'll be a toddler, and then he can talk, and everything will be great. Then guess what happens? That kid turns 2, and the terrible twos. He's screaming, he's crying, he wants milk. Daddy. I've heard it all before. Nagging. And then you're like, man, I can't wait till the kid's like 6 or 7. This way he can start to put his own sneakers on. He can get his own glass of milk. He can make his own sandwich. And then when they're 6, well, ask me how I know. And then when they're 6, it's something else they need that could be overwhelming and stressful and this and that. And then at that point you say, oh man, I can't wait for them to be a teenager. And then they're a teenager and you're unhappy with that. So you can't wait for them to be an adult. Let's relate this to your job. How many people work a job that they don't enjoy? They get up and they go to work every day miserably because they're waiting for retirement. And most people, and it comes even down to the New Year's resolution. Most people, that are they're going to set some goals for the New Year's. They might be, one of the big ones is I want to lose weight next year. I'm thinking about it today. Oh, my New Year's resolution is going to be to lose weight. And I'm 70 pounds overweight. But you know what? I'm not going to start today because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So I'm going to pig out tomorrow. And you know what? Christmas is right around the corner, and that's another pig out day. So I'll wait till New Year's just to start my to start my fitness plan. And guess what happens? New Year's comes and you don't start your fitness plan and you're still unhappy. It's like everybody goes through the motions waiting for the obstacles and the challenges to disappear from life, because when all the challenges and obstacles associated with living go away, then I can be happy. Well, guess what? If that's your mentality, you're never going to be happy. You've got to take action today, and you actually have a conscious decision to feel good now, feel happy now. Like, don't wait for things to change before you feel happy, because if you are, things won't change. And this whole idea kind of leads perfectly into this whole sense we have in our culture about what retirement means. So I thought I would toss it back over to you, Paul, to kind of talk about the retirement thing and tie that into the articles and the things that got my mind going this morning when I was on Facebook.
You know what? Funny. I was actually recently asked. Somebody asked me what I do or whatnot, or they asked me about. I forget what it was, but anyway, they asked me if I was retired. And I said no. But after this morning, after I read the definition of retirement, I realized that, you know what, I have been retired for 2 years now. That's a very interesting thing here. I didn't even realize that I was retired. And
congratulations.
Hey, you know what? You're retired too.
Yeah, I am.
So, you know, and what allows me to say that? Well, this morning I got up thinking about the word retirement and about what everybody is waiting for. Like John said, I mean, what is the one biggest thing that every employee on the planet is, quote, waiting for? Retirement, right? Well, I got to thinking, well, what is the bullshit behind the word retirement that is being pulled over our eyes, right? So I got up this morning and I looked up the word retirement to get the definition of the word retirement. And the definition of the word retirement is basically the act of leaving your job and ceasing to work. So retirement is not the whole life after working. Retirement is basically the day you quit. That's retirement. All right, boom. It might even be the 5 minutes. It might be, the see you later, everybody, I'm out of here. 2 minutes it takes you to walk out the front door. That could be the full scope of your retirement. All right. So, and then the other thing that it talked about in there was the word semi-retirement. And I just now actually had a brainstorm here, and the fact that, you know what, you and I'm redefining the definition of semi-retirement. Semi-retirement, basically, which is a complete misnomer to what retirement is, because retirement is the act of leaving your job and ceasing to work. So how can semi-retirement even exist when all it is, when it's defined as, reducing your hours, working less? How can that be semi-retired when retired is leaving your job and ceasing to work? It makes no sense. Okay. But in reality, like I said, I'm redefining semi-retirement, because you and I would say right now, are semi-retired, because we have left our jobs and ceased to work as an employee. However, we are right now still working at building a business system which is going to allow us to achieve financial freedom, which financial freedom is really what the culmination, what the goal of your retirement is. Your retirement is a day, all right? You can pick a day. This is the day I retire. This is my retirement, is this day. What happens after that is you're living life in a financially free state, okay? And like I said, I would consider us semi-retired, because we have quit working for someone else. We had that day that we left the job and ceased to work for someone else. However, we are continuing right now to work in an entrepreneurial manner to create a business system that's going to allow us to live the remainder of our lives financially free. Would you agree with that? I
would agree with you 100%. Yes, I agree with you. We are kind of semi-retired. I work because I want to work right now. Partially true. Partially true. Yes, we're retired because we're not employed by anyone else. But, in that dire, in my kind of view of what retirement means, it's when, financial freedom, passive income, when I have enough money coming in passively, so I don't have to get up and go to work to pay all my bills, I guess that would be financial retirement, financial freedom. That I really do not have yet, so to speak. I don't have enough rental properties or passive income coming in to pay my bills. So I have to go out and actively create this business and get on the sales side of things to earn my living right now. But I'm doing wholesale real estate. So I'll be honest with you, I'm doing more than earning a living. I'm putting money away for investing to build. I'm building wealth at the same time here. Let's make a clear distinction, because if I was working for somebody else, I would have a cap on my salary. I wouldn't be able to build wealth. I'd be earning a living. So I'm in a position right now where I'm doing both. So yes, I guess, Paul, you're right. We are semi-retired, and I'm saying the word semi. Probably this is your thinking. It's because we still have to do this business in order to generate income for ourselves. We're not fully retired yet because that passive income isn't high enough for us to just not do anything every day. But I'm going to say this. If you're going to go out there and spend every day earning a living, find something you're passionate about doing, so that when you get up and go to work every day, yeah, sure, I have to, but I don't have to do this. I have to go out and figure out a way to earn a living because I'm not yet retired. But there's no job that you have to do. And that's powerful, because you can make the choice to do anything you want. And I choose, and I know Paul would agree with me on this, we choose to work. We chose this business because every day for me is kind of like retirement. I'm hanging out. I'm having a good time. I love doing this business. I love working with Paul and my team. And that's why I'm so darn excited about it. We come on these hangouts to kind of share our mindset, share what we're doing, is because when you're doing what you want every single day, you have freedom. You're semi-retired, I guess you could say that, on the good sense of the word.
Yeah. I mean, you want an example of that? Look at my hair. Here it is, 8:45 in the morning, and I haven't even combed my hair yet because, I was just a little bit too busy, and these hangouts kind of popped up on me unsuspectedly. The time was flying by, but you know what? I don't have to, okay? That's the thing right there. I don't have to. I'm semi-retired. But, because I'm working from home right now. Here's another interesting thing about, actually, I think you just gave us the subject matter for Freedom Friday. Are we intending to hold Black Freedom Friday?
I absolutely intend on doing that. Excellent. I want to do that.
Excellent. Freedom Black Friday. And I think this is a perfect subject for such a ridiculous day. Earning a living versus building wealth. What do you think? You want to take off on that on Friday?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yes.
All right. You just threw that out. I was like, that's perfect subject. Okay, so anyway, getting back to, waiting. What are you waiting for? Waiting for retirement, right? I got to get into what I found this morning in my research of looking for, the definition of retirement. And what I found, obviously, was that the definition was the act of leaving a job or creating work and ceasing to work. And then I flipped over to the Wikipedia, and I haven't even finished reading this because the very first paragraph, 3 sentences, took me to a whole nother page of do I want to call it enlightenment or do I want to call it embarrassment for our system? I don't know. But on the Wikipedia page, you're going to love this. It says, retirement is the point where a person stops employment completely. Okay? I mean, that's pure and simple right there. Again, reiterating exactly what the definition is. It's the day, it's the moment, it's the minutes, it's the party, it's whatever. Your retirement is a very, very small thing. It's the day, the point where a person stops employment completely. That's it. That's all retirement is. It's not living life afterwards. Here's where it gets good. A person may also semi-retire by reducing work hours. And that's what I was just talking about right there, is how do you freaking semi-retire when retirement is stopping employment completely? It completely is counterintuitive to each other right there. And here's the great one. I love this one. An increasing number of individuals are choosing to put off this point of total retirement by selecting to exist in an emerging state of pre-retirement. What in the hell are you talking about here, folks? Pre-retirement. I mean, just that sentence alone, I mean, that the word pre-retirement on the Wikipedia page is a link, all right? Go there, follow the link, and have your mind completely freaking blown out of the water as to what the system, the world, is now instilling into the minds of the next generation. That's really what this is all about, isn't it? Wouldn't you agree, John?
I do agree. I can't even stand looking at too much media and hype, because when I read articles like that, it's so obvious how much programming is going on in our world every day, and people don't even realize how or what's programming them. But this whole idea about anything is kind of ludicrous. There's a comedian named George Carlin. I'm sure you've heard of him, Paul, who does a whole bit about airlines and how they use words to mislead you about the actual meaning of the definition. And he says, the attendant gets on and says, seats row through A through M, line up. We're going to pre-board the plane. He's like, how am I pre-boarding the plane? Like, am I getting on the plane right now? Yes. I am not pre-boarding anything. I am boarding this effing plane. Like, what is she saying? But think about the concept. Like, it is something to kind of laugh about. Like, these programming words are made fun of. Another thing he says on this, and then I'll let you get going on what you were saying, because I think this kind of stuff is so funny. This would really crack me up this morning when you brought this up too, is he talks about in case of a water landing, and he's like, a water landing? When does a plane land in water? You mean fucking crashing into the ocean? But I would suggest anybody who's kind of gets the point of what we're saying, go watch George Carlin. Just Google George Carlin pre-boarding the plane and watch this 11-minute bit, because it's all about how these words in our culture are specifically used to mislead us, and it's a satire on that, and it's hilarious. But I'm going to toss it back to you, Paul, to go run with that concept, because I like.
I love George Carlin. He's funny as hell. He's a wordplay wizard.
Yeah.
That is so funny. A water landing. You mean a freaking crash?
You mean crashing into the fucking ocean?
I don't see any pontoons on this plane.
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah. So this whole pre-retirement thing, it's a lovely pre-programming thing is what it is. And what it basically comes down to is this pre-retirement, right, is a plan to cut hours earlier in life with an intention of working longer. Okay, that's really what the pre-retirement is. It kind of says that it's, continuing in work on a part-time or reduced hours basis toward either a full retired state or towards never retiring. They're throwing you right in. A working in a part-time or reduced hour basis, either towards, you got two choices here now, either towards a fully retired state if you're one of the lucky ones, or a never retired state if you're one of the saps. Get used to it.
This cracks me up because, you know what, honestly, I could just imagine about 10, 15 years from now walking around and people talking about it, and some guy go, are you retired? No, I'm pre-tired right now. I just can't wait to hear that, because I'm going to laugh, because it's laughable. This whole concept is a joke to me.
It is, and it's something that is, I guess this is like a term that's probably being thrown around heavily in England and Britain right now, and obviously it's where, you know, the state of the economy and the job world is headed here in America. Yeah, like we really ever got our freedom from England. We're freaking like a mirror image of them anymore. But anyway, you know, so there's some of these statistics are from there. It says that pre-retirement begins in your 50s and goes well into your 70s and beyond. All right. So get used to it, folks. When you get to be 50, maybe you can think about reducing some hours. How's that for a great plan? All right. 89% of the current 50 to 54-year-olds do not know when they will retire. They don't know. They have no clue. If will they ever retire is probably what the real question is there. 89% are wondering if they'll ever retire is probably what that really says. 35% of 50 to 54-year-olds are already expecting to retire later than 65. And only 24% of them right now say that, only 24% of the 55 to 65-year-olds say that if they were to retire right now, that they would be financially secure, which I think 24% is a pretty high number. I think if you pick that number out here, if you took that same poll here in America, I don't know, would that number be 24%? I think it'd be less. Maybe not. I mean, maybe there's still enough leftovers from the whole, you know, last century farce of building retirement wealth that some people would feel that way. I don't know. But anyway, here's the beauty part right here. A growing number of pre-tireds. Okay, so it already is, like I said, a big thing, you know, over in England. You want to go? You want to hear people say that I'm pre-tired? Let's go to England. I'll bet you'll hear it in, you know, on the very first day. All right, a growing number of pre-tireds they're hoping that their health will remain good enough for them to work until the day they die. That's what they're hoping for.
Hey, Paul, you know, being that we're forward thinkers and we're in real estate, I thought of a whole new concept for subdivisions, bro.
The pre-retirement community.
What would that even be? Like everyone that lives in this community is a part-time shopping store employee, a part-time Circle K cashier. Like what does it even mean?
I don't know, but I'm writing it down. I love it.
I was just kind of laughing because I'm just thinking of the George Carlin bit. This is a funny concept.
Right.
We start a pre-retirement community. You know, 50 plus, I guess, because 50 is the retirement age.
And then we call George Carlin and tell him to get on stage and freaking make it laughable.
You're all still working.
Yeah. What do you mean pre-retirement? In case of a retirement?
Event of a retirement.
You've just set yourself up to work till the day you die. So then another little piece here. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the business called Zopa. It's a peer-to-peer lending business, so it's a new age, right? I mean, this is not something that anybody ever heard of 10 years ago, or pretty much even about 5 years ago, really. This is peer-to-peer lending is really pretty new. So this is the CEO of Zopa, new age thinker, right? This is his quote. He says, "Retirement is no longer about clearing the desk at age 65. Hey guys, you want to come to work for Zopa? Don't plan on fucking walking out at 65 with the gold watch and being done here. You come to work for me, you're here for life, Jack." We're never letting you go. I get my hooks in you. We're never letting you go. We're setting you up for failure.
That's exactly kind of it. But, you know, it also leads me, and I think if you're going to have a discussion about retirement, also about the fact of, you know, if you hate your job and you don't like what you do, why don't you retire today, right now? So many people will just say to you, or just start thinking, you know what, that's easy for someone like you to do because you are, you know, you make money, you already know how this is done, all that stuff. And I get that. But you know what? A job, why do most people go to work? Because they need that financial sense of security, right? I mean, I don't know. You got to have to take risks if you want to be happy in life, and you're going to have to just take challenges. And if you're doing something every day that you hate, waiting for retirement, and you have that I retire when I'm 65 mentality, you know what? You're not going to be happy. If you're not happy now and you're going to do what you're doing today for the next 30 years, what makes you think that you're going to be any happier in 30 years if all you've done is you're in the routine and the rut of doing something every day that you don't want to do and you're unhappy about? It's hard because most people face depression and stuff after retirement. I think you didn't even get to that part of the retirement conversation, but so I won't tie that in just yet. But why not just do what you want every single day? And then if you love what you do, you wouldn't even be thinking about retiring or stop doing it, right? I love what me and Paul do. And for me, when we retire from wholesale real estate, that'll just be another opportunity for me to be able to spend my time working on a new project, something new, a new way to make money, a new way to build wealth, or learn more about investing. And that's the mindset that you should have, is that, you know what, a job should just be a means to an end. Hey, I need this financial security right now until I can get on my feet. But most people never get on their feet. You know, you've got to do something today.
Number one reason why nobody ever gets on their feet is because nobody ever saves any money. If you don't save any money, how can you ever have the possibility of taking advantage of an opportunity that might come your way? That's the core problem right there.
Right. You should learn how to have a money management system no matter how much money you make.
Yeah,
if you make a $1 a week, you should learn to budget that dollar based on a money management system.
And the world's brainwashed us to become basically, spenders of it all, and even more than what you really have. You know what I mean? And which basically pretty much enslaves you to the system.
Yeah.
So all for the means of living an imaginary life of abundance.
That's the world. You know what? Shoot, we're probably almost out of time. That's the world we live in now, though, really, is the realization that we don't have this abundant wealth. It's just, we've had this conversation a million times. I think now more than ever is the time for people to get into doing something like wholesale real estate or network marketing, or finding a way to make money online. Look at things that can be bought and sold internationally, and look towards, I guess, the internet really as a way to do business and the way to build wealth and a way to earn a living, because the world is changed. You said it right there, Paul. I mean, it's not the world it was in 2007. In fact, the world we thought it was in 2007 wasn't the world it was in 2007.
It was already fake.
Yeah, and the result was the overnight realization that, oh my God, we're not rich. We don't have that money. We can't afford this house. We can't afford these credit card payments. We can't afford taxes on a lot this big. What the hell did we do? And we're getting laid off, and our 401k is meaningless. And boom, you had a major crash. And that's the real world. All this pricing in the stock market and all this frivolous spending that people are still doing. I mean, we're on the brink, I think, of another realization of the fiction, which is going to be another recession, depression. And if you're aware of that, what side of the fence do you want to be on? You know, that's why I say like something like wholesale real estate, network marketing, online businesses, international businesses that can be conducted online. You've got to start like thinking forward to the future, because like what kind of future is working to the day you die? Like literally you'll be working minimum wage 20 hours a week, collecting a government pittance and waiting on soup lines. If something goes wrong and all of a sudden we don't have EBT cards anymore because we have a major economic crash, how many people are going to be out on soup lines begging for food? And who and do you want to be the person begging, or do you want to be someone that maybe offers a solution? The person spooning the food to the homeless when this happens. I don't know. That's my motivation for this business. Everything what you said about retirement, the ridiculous notion of pre-retirement, not waiting another day to choose to be happy and start doing the things you want to do and learning how to make the money you need to make to do the things you want to do. All right, go ahead, Paul. You close us out.
I'm going to close it out with this, going all the way back to where we started this and what you originally brought to the table here in waiting, waiting for the next big thing, waiting for something major to happen, and or some cases, waiting for something catastrophic. I mean, people aren't waiting for something catastrophic, but generally it takes something catastrophic for people to freaking change their mindset. Well, guess what, folks? Remember 2008? Pretty catastrophic. It happened. What are you waiting for? Get off your duff and go. With that, oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom. We wish to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. All right, John, I know you got one last word. Take us home.
We'll see you on Freedom Friday, where we're going to discuss earning a living and building wealth.
What's the difference?
That's my final word. If I get into the final word, I'll go on for another 5 minutes.
I know. Freedom Friday, everybody. See you back here at 8:30 a.m. with the real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah. Wholesale real estate investing by House, Arizona. Number 195 will be Freedom Friday. Bye.